everything in the book. It could be jokes, it could be physical actions, it could be anything. Like I've pretty much gotten everything. Like I remember my first time receiving anything that like made me feel like hurt because of what someone said was when I was around either 7 or 8. It was like my second season playing travel hockey. Played on the New York City Cyclones, and we were playing a Long Island team. And every time we played a Long Island team, I always felt the energy from the other team that they just didn't like me, only because of who I was as a person. It's my skin color. And someone said something to me. They called me the N-word, and I was young, so I didn't really like react crazily. I didn't like say anything. I just went to my coach. I told my coach what happened. Nothing really happened, but like I've just received everything. As I got older, people have become more comfortable with trying to say something, and that's when I've been able to put my foot down. So now I play contact hockey. I could really do whatever I want. Like if someone says something to me, I don't really have to say anything back to them. Either I go score a goal or I just hit them. It's just that simple.
Yep, the same thing. I agree with him. I've dealt with so many racial things or things that have been said or done to me in my time. When I was playing on my Islanders team in Long Island, we went to a tournament one weekend, and I had another defensive partner on my line who I played with. He was the same color skin as me. So we had gotten, not me and him, but a kid from the other team, the opposing team, we got in a little altercation in front of the net, and we were jawing at each other. And the next thing you know, he said something that was out of context that had to deal with our skin color. Now, me and my defense partner weren't going to back down from it, but, and we're old enough to stand up for ourselves. So we both launched at him, but then we realized, we don't want to get ourselves a penalty or make something critical for our team, where we have to kill it off and then it destroys us. So we launched at him, but we kind of, drew back a little bit, and we just said, you know what, forget it. We laughed at him because we were already winning. And then getting back to the bench, just listening to it in my head, it's just like, it's not really tolerated, and it's like it hurts. It really hurts to hear those words being said in the sport. I've had kids on other teams from the other bench say the basketball court's that way, or you can go do this, go play football. It's not cool to be said in the hockey community. Hockey community can also be loving and caring, but it can also be toxic. It has its perks and then it has its downfalls, and that is one downfall you don't want to hear as a minority playing the sport.
And what we're setting out to do is change the hockey culture, right? We want to change this thinking immediately because for far too long, these players have been forced to keep their mouths shut on the ice when this happens, and it's swept under the rug, and it's just simply not okay. And it's going to take bulldogs to put a stop to it. And I can promise you that I am one of those bulldogs, and I'm working very hard at doing that. And that's a big part of what we do as well, as mentorship within the program, to work with players like Romeo and Lance and let them know that we have their backs, that these things will not go unnoticed. So